In a small town cradled by the majestic arms of mountains, lived a woman named McKenna. With striking blue eyes and unruly chestnut curls, she was a revered artist who had garnered recognition for her breathtaking paintings. But behind her canvas was a guarded heart, worn and weary from years of trying to maneuver around her greatest fear, heights. This fear haunted McKenna since childhood, when a fall from a tree left a lasting impression on her psyche. She avoided climbing mountains, taking the elevator instead of the stairs, and bypassed tall buildings, even in her own neighborhood. One day, an exciting opportunity knocked on McKenna's door. A local art festival was being organized in the town's renowned Alpine Lodge, and the event promised exposure and the chance to showcase her work to art enthusiasts and potential collectors alike. She immediately envisioned the grandeur of her paintings displayed to an audience in a rustic yet chic mountain setting. However, the festival had an additional twist, an interactive event on the second level of the lodge. It would include an art workshop for an audience of budding artists eager to learn from a skilled painter. To conduct the workshop, McKenna would have to climb to the lodge's observation deck, positioned precariously at the top of a steep hill. McKenna's heart sank at the thought. Climbing mountains felt as daunting as facing dragons in fairy tales. She debated declining the invitation, but the desire to share her passion for art with the world tugged at her heartstrings. It was then that she remembered a lesson she learned from her grandfather, a mountain climber in his youth. Sometimes, the beauty of the journey lies in facing what terrifies us most. As days passed, the nagging anxiety coiled tightly around her chest. She filled her time with painting and planning for the workshop, yet thoughts of the climb lingered like shadows. On a chilly autumn morning, she stood in front of her easel, paintbrush trembling in her hand, as she painted a majestic mountain. Each stroke echoed her inner turmoil, a battle between ambition and fear. The week of the festival arrived, and as she prepared to leave home, doubt gnawed at her resolve. The workshop was her dream, yet standing on the ground, the lodge looked like a castle in the clouds. But just as she was about to turn back, she remembered the painting she had created, one that illustrated not only her love for nature but also her quest for courage. McKenna took a deep breath and made her way to the lodge. Each step seemed heavier than the last, a mix of excitement and terror. Upon reaching the base of the hill that led to the lodge, she paused, staring at the jagged silhouette against the sky. Desperate to conquer her fear, she felt an inner clash reminiscent of a battle. Gathering her thoughts, she embraced her grandfather's wisdom and focused on the beauty of the view she had often admired in her paintings. As she climbed, every inch felt monumental. Slowly, she began to replay her life's precious moments, her first painting, the ecstatic applause from her friends, the thrill of being recognized, and the warm sunsets she had captured on canvas. Each step that escalated her heart rate was also embracing the value of perseverance and the knowledge that fear, just like the weather, can change. Finally, she reached the observation deck, breathless but resolute. She was on top of the world, gazing out at a view that seemed to cradle the entire valley in a warm embrace. The mountains were no longer formidable foes, they felt like wise old friends, inviting her for a journey of exploration. Feeling liberated, McKenna turned to face her new audience, a group of local art enthusiasts awaiting her arrival. Their smiles melted away the last remnants of her anxiety as she began her workshop. Sharing laughter and inspiration with every brush stroke brought her joy laced with courage. She watched as they painted, creating a vibrant tapestry of color and emotion, reminding her that fears had a way of transforming into a painting of strength and community. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson, McKenna realized that her greatest masterpiece was not on the canvas, but in her heart. The struggle against her fear of heights had taught her an unexpected lesson. Sometimes, facing what frightens us is the very brush we need to paint the life we want. It was no longer about conquering fear but rather embracing it as part of the journey, a reminder that beauty lies not in the absence of fear but in the audacity to move forward, brush in hand, towards the horizon painted by dreams. And in that moment, she understood that the mountains were refreshing reminders that every climb was worth the transformative view at the top.